God says, listen closely, my beloved soul, because what you are hearing now is not random, not delayed, and not meant for just anyone. There are moments when heaven leans closer to earth, when the noise around you fades, and your spirit is gently invited to pay attention. This is one of those moments. Something within you already knows it. That quiet pull in your chest, the sudden stillness in your thoughts, the sense that this message found you rather than the other way around. This is alignment. This is timing. This is purpose unfolding. Archangel Michael stands as a guardian of truth and strength, and his presence arrives not with fear, not with pressure, but with clarity and peace. He says that your life has been preparing for a turn you could not see coming, not because you were unworthy of knowing sooner, but because the right moment had to mature. Every season you walked through shaped you for what is next. Every delay refined you. Every unanswered question trained your heart to listen more deeply. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was accidental. You may have felt, at times, that life was quiet when you expected movement, that progress was hidden when you hoped for signs. Yet in those quiet stretches, something profound was taking place beneath the surface. Roots were growing. Strength was forming. Wisdom was being layered into your spirit. Heaven does not rush what is meant to last. And now, what was forming quietly is ready to rise visibly. Archangel Michael speaks with calm authority, saying that change does not always arrive as noise or disruption. Sometimes it arrives as understanding. Sometimes it comes as peace where anxiety once lived. Sometimes it shows up as doors opening naturally, without force, without struggle. Your life is shifting toward ease, not because you avoided hardship, but because you learned from it. The next chapter is not about proving yourself. It is about stepping into what already belongs to you. Take a moment to breathe this in. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be for what is about to unfold. The people, opportunities, and answers that align with your growth are already moving toward you. What once felt distant will begin to feel familiar. What once felt impossible will start to feel normal. This is how heaven works, gently, precisely, intentionally. Archangel Michael says that protection has surrounded you even when you did not realize it. Redirections you once questioned were acts of guidance. Closed paths were not rejection, but preservation. You were being kept for something better aligned with your true self. As your life changes, you will notice a sense of rightness, a feeling that things are falling into place without force. This is confirmation, not coincidence. Let your heart stay open as this message continues to settle within you. Change does not need to be chased. It responds to readiness. And you are ready. Ready to receive clarity. Ready to experience growth. Ready to walk into a version of life that feels lighter, truer, and more aligned with who you are becoming. Heaven has not forgotten your name. It has been calling it gently, waiting for the moment you could hear it clearly. As this message reaches its close, take this truth with you: your life is not about to change because of luck or chance, but because of alignment, patience, and divine timing coming together. Trust the unfolding. Stay present. Stay open. What is meant for you recognizes you. If this message resonated with your heart, take a moment at the end to respond in your own way. Like this message if it brought you peace, share it with someone who may need encouragement today, comment with what you felt as you listened, and subscribe to stay connected with messages that speak to the deeper parts of your journey. God says, listen even more deeply now, my beloved soul, because what is unfolding is not meant to rush past your understanding. This message is not here to excite you for a moment and then fade. It is here to settle into you, to slowly open your inner sight, and to help you recognize the movement that has already begun around your life. There are changes that arrive loudly, and then there are changes that arrive quietly but reshape everything. Yours belongs to the second kind. It is subtle, steady, and powerful. Archangel Michael is not speaking to you because you are weak. He is speaking to you because you are strong enough to carry what is coming. Strength is not always visible on the surface. Often, true strength is built in silence, in patience, in endurance, in the moments when you kept going even when you felt unseen. Heaven saw those moments clearly. Nothing about your journey has been overlooked. Every step, even the confusing ones, has been counted. There were times when you wondered why things did not move when you prayed, why answers seemed delayed, why clarity took so long to arrive. What you could not see then was the careful preparation taking place. Some doors were not opening because what waited behind them needed time to be ready for you. Some people were removed because their presence would have limited the growth that was meant to happen next. Some lessons repeated themselves because your spirit was being trained to recognize truth, not just comfort. This is why Archangel Michael speaks with assurance now. He says that the season of constant questioning is slowly giving way to a season of recognition. You will begin to notice that things make sense in hindsight. Patterns will become clear. Choices you once doubted will reveal their purpose. Even the pain you never wanted will show you how much strength it carved into your character. Nothing was wasted. Everything was shaping you. Right now, your life is standing at a point of alignment. Alignment does not always look dramatic. Often it feels like calm replacing restlessness, like direction replacing confusion, like peace settling where anxiety once lived. That is the sign that heaven is working close to you. When things begin to align internally, the external world follows in time. First the heart changes, then the path opens. Archangel Michael says that you are entering a phase where resistance will decrease. Not because challenges vanish completely, but because you will no longer fight every step. You will move with more certainty, with clearer boundaries, with stronger discernment. You will recognize what deserves your energy and what does not. This discernment is a gift. It protects your peace and preserves your strength for what truly matters. Think about how much you have grown already. There was a time when situations controlled your emotions. Now you pause. There was a time when words wounded you deeply. Now you reflect. There was a time when uncertainty frightened you. Now you wait with trust. These are not small changes. These are signs of inner maturity. Heaven does not release greater responsibility, influence, or blessing until the inner foundation is strong enough to support it. Yours is. As this message continues, allow yourself to release the need to rush the outcome. What is meant for you is not running away from you. It is moving toward you at the right pace. Some things must arrive slowly so they can stay. Some transformations must unfold gently so they do not overwhelm your spirit. Archangel Michael reminds you that timing is not punishment, it is protection. You may begin to notice subtle shifts in your daily life. Conversations may change. Opportunities may arise unexpectedly. Old burdens may feel lighter without explanation. These are signs of movement. Heaven often works quietly before it works visibly. Pay attention to the small confirmations. They are preparing you for larger ones. There is also a release happening within you. Old guilt is loosening. Old regrets are losing their grip. Old fears are no longer as loud as they once were. This is not because you forgot the past, but because you outgrew it. Growth does not erase memory, it changes its power over you. What once defined you now simply informs you. Archangel Michael says that your next chapter will require presence more than effort. You will not need to force outcomes or chase validation. What aligns with you will recognize you naturally. What does not align will fade without drama. This is the peace that comes from knowing who you are and what you no longer need to prove. Remain still inside as this message settles. Let it strengthen your trust. Let it steady your expectations. Let it remind you that heaven's work is not hurried, not careless, and never late. You are not waiting for life to begin. Life has already begun shifting in your favor. What comes next will feel different, not because everything changes at once, but because you change how you walk through it. This is not the end of the message. It is a deepening of it. Stay open. Stay grounded. Stay receptive. What is unfolding is meant to last, God says. Listen closely, my beloved soul, because now the message moves deeper than reassurance and enters revelation. What is happening around you is not only external change. It is an internal realignment that will quietly alter the direction of your entire life. Many people wait for visible signs before they believe something is shifting, but heaven always begins its work within first. That inner steadiness you are starting to feel, even without clear answers, is proof that something real is taking place. Archangel Michael speaks now with clarity and calm authority. He says that you have crossed an unseen threshold. You may not have marked the day or recognized the moment, but there was a point where your endurance outweighed your doubt. From that moment, heaven responded differently to your prayers. They were no longer requests spoken from survival, but intentions spoken from growth. This is why things are beginning to line up in subtle but undeniable ways. There was a season when you kept asking, "Why is this happening to me?" That question has slowly transformed into, "What is this teaching me?" That shift alone tells heaven that you are ready for expansion. Growth always begins when the soul stops resisting experience and starts extracting wisdom from it. You have done that work quietly, without applause, without recognition, and that is exactly why it carries weight in the spiritual realm. Now understand this clearly: not every delay in your life was caused by opposition. Some delays were intentional pauses placed by heaven to prevent you from stepping into something unprepared. There are blessings that arrive too early and become burdens. There are connections that form too soon and collapse under pressure. Heaven withheld certain things not to deny you, but to protect the quality and longevity of what you are meant to receive. Archangel Michael says that the next phase of your life will feel less chaotic, even if it is busy. You will notice that you are no longer pulled in 10 directions at once. Your priorities will sharpen. Your tolerance for confusion will decrease. You will naturally distance yourself from environments, conversations, and patterns that drain you. This is not withdrawal, it is refinement. You are also being prepared for clarity in relationships. Some connections will deepen effortlessly. Others will quietly fade without conflict. Do not chase explanations for every separation. Some people exit your life simply because their role is complete. Holding on longer would only delay the next alignment. Trust that heaven removes gently when it is no longer meant to sustain. As this message continues, allow yourself to release the idea that transformation must be dramatic to be meaningful. Most lasting change happens through repetition, consistency, and awareness. You are becoming more aware of your own energy, your own boundaries, your own needs. That awareness is power. It allows you to choose differently, speak honestly, and act with intention rather than reaction. Archangel Michael reminds you that your sensitivity is not weakness. Your ability to feel deeply, to reflect, to pause before responding, these are signs of emotional intelligence and spiritual maturity. The world often rewards noise, but heaven rewards depth. What you carry inside you now requires a quieter strength, not a louder voice. You may soon find yourself trusting your intuition more than external opinions. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. When your inner voice becomes clearer, outside noise loses authority. Decisions will feel simpler, not because life becomes easy, but because you become grounded. You will know when to move and when to wait. You will recognize peace as guidance, not stagnation. There is also healing taking place around old disappointments. Some memories that once triggered sadness will begin to feel neutral. Some hopes you released will no longer ache. This does not mean you stopped caring, it means you stopped carrying unnecessary weight. Healing is not forgetting. It is freedom from emotional repetition. Archangel Michael says that soon you will notice a shift in how others respond to you. People may listen more closely. Opportunities may appear more naturally. Respect may replace resistance. This is not because you changed who you are, but because you stopped shrinking to fit spaces that could not hold you. When you stand fully in your truth, the world adjusts accordingly. Remain patient with the unfolding. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where the next door can open. Without breaking you. Heaven does not rush growth. It nurtures it. What is meant to last is being built with care, not urgency. As you sit with this message, let it anchor you. Let it remind you that transformation does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it arrives as quiet confidence. Sometimes it feels like peace replacing pressure. Sometimes it looks like choosing yourself without guilt. This message continues because your journey continues. You are not at the end of the story. You are in the chapter where understanding replaces confusion and stability replaces survival. Stay present. Stay open. What is forming now will soon be visible, not just to you, but to everyone who once doubted your path. God says, "Listen closely, my beloved soul, because this is the closing movement of what heaven has been unfolding around you." Everything you have felt, questioned, sensed, and slowly understood was leading you to this point of awareness. This is not the end of a message. This is the moment where meaning settles in your spirit. You were never meant to just hear words, you were meant to become the proof of what they describe. Archangel Michael speaks now not with urgency, but with certainty. He says that the changes forming in your life will no longer ask for permission. They will not need validation. They will arrive because alignment has already been established. What you are stepping into will feel natural, not forced, because it matches the version of you that has quietly matured through experience. There was a time when you needed signs to keep going. You needed reassurance because everything felt unstable. That phase is ending. Stability is being rebuilt from the inside out. You will notice that your reactions are calmer, your thoughts are clearer, and your decisions feel more grounded. This is not coincidence. This is the result of inner order replacing inner noise. You are also entering a phase where your value becomes visible without explanation. You will not need to convince anyone of your worth. The way you speak, the way you move, the way you choose will communicate it naturally. Confidence will no longer come from proving something to others, but from knowing who you are without apology. This is one of the strongest forms of transformation. Archangel Michael says that what you once feared losing no longer has power over you. Attachment has softened into appreciation. Control has turned into trust. You are learning that not everything needs to be held tightly to be meaningful. Some things are meant to pass through your life to teach you, strengthen you, and prepare you for what stays. The next season of your life will reward consistency, not intensity. Small daily choices will shape big outcomes. Quiet discipline will open doors louder effort never could. You will begin to understand that miracles are not always sudden events, sometimes they are the accumulation of right decisions made repeatedly over time. There will also be moments when you look back and realize how protected you truly were. Situations that did not work out will suddenly make sense. Paths that closed will reveal what they saved you from. This understanding will not bring regret, it will bring gratitude. Gratitude is one of the highest frequencies of alignment, and it attracts more clarity, more peace, and more opportunity. Archangel Michael says your life will now move with less resistance. This does not mean challenges disappear, it means you stop fighting yourself while facing them. You will meet obstacles with strategy instead of panic. You will respond instead of react. That alone changes outcomes dramatically. Pay attention to the people who remain consistent around you. These are not accidents. These are stabilizers placed in your life to support your growth. At the same time, do not be surprised if some connections quietly fall away. Not everyone can walk with you into the version of life you are entering. This is not loss, it is alignment. You are also being prepared to receive without guilt. For a long time, you may have felt uncomfortable accepting help, appreciation, or abundance. That resistance is dissolving. You are learning that receiving does not make you weak, it makes you balanced. Giving and receiving are both sacred when they are in harmony. As this message completes, understand this truth clearly: you are not waiting for your life to change. Your life is already changing because you have changed. External reality always follows internal order. What appears next will be a reflection, not a surprise. Archangel Michael leaves you with this final confirmation: what is unfolding now will not collapse under pressure. It is built on clarity, patience, and self-respect. You are stepping into a chapter where growth feels steady, peace feels familiar, and direction feels clear. This is not a peak moment, it is a foundation. Take a moment and let this settle. Let it anchor you. Let it remind you that you did not endure everything you endured for nothing. Meaning has been forming all along. If this message resonated with your soul, like this video so this energy stays with you. Comment one word that reflects how you feel right now so this moment is sealed. Share this with someone who needs grounding and clarity today. And subscribe to this channel, because messages like this are not random, and what comes next may be exactly what your spirit needs to hear.